Hi guys. I'm going to start by just sharing a little bit what's been going on in my head and my heart recently. And I have to emphasize before I dive into it, if I cry, I apologize. It's been an emotional couple of weeks. Um, One of the things that I have learned in my journey through fitness, through health, through transition, through trial, through everything that the Lord has brought me and my family through over the past couple of years is that I find that by sharing my journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, and a lot of the yucky, um, it shines a light on what other people aren't willing to shine a light on. And there is a chance for us to reach out to each other and heal and share in the hard times. If you didn't notice, or if you hadn't seen, my grandmother, Shirley Bennett, passed away this morning. And it is a long time coming. It was something that, to be quite honest, it was very much a relief for us to know that the Lord finally allowed her to enter into his presence, because she had been declining for a long time, and had really seen this rapid decline even this past 2 years. And I am so thankful that she is no longer suffering. But it doesn't mean that I don't love and miss my grandmother dearly, and I'm going to be missing and loving her dearly. Um, but one of the things that I have been asked recently is kind of to talk a little bit about what it is that, why is it that I do what I do? Why do I share my journey on social media? Why am I vulnerable to the greater public? Why do I shine my light on some of the dirty business that happens? And why is it that I want to show the good, the bad, and the ugly behind the process known as life? And I find that by sharing, that we can build a trust with one another, and we can help heal through situations. So let's think back to a couple of years ago, right before I moved in with my grandparents to help out with senior care. My husband and I had gone through some crazy transitions with work. I was 250 pounds. The reality is, when I really looked at my life, most likely I was probably pre-diabetic. I had had a miscarriage. I had suffered from PCOS. I had already had a surgery on my ovaries. Um, and the Lord had ripped the carpet out from underneath us, because we were supposed to be adopting. We had gone through the home inspection, we were ready to go, and then everything changed. And yet, that change was one of the most pivotal moments, I think, in my life and in my marriage. And really to understand where the Lord is bringing me, and just sharing my passion for now understanding health and understanding fitness, as well as sharing my journey. So we moved in with my grandparents, and I saw my genetic map in front of me. Now, don't get me wrong. I love and adore my grandmother. I shared today how much she meant to me. She was a mentor to me. She supported me through everything. But I was so fortunate I have two grandmothers that have just been amazing. And I cannot wait to hug my one living grandmother right now. Actually, my only living grandparent. That's hard to swallow. Because my grandmother Milne, has also just bent over backwards for us. But my grandmother Bennett and I kind of had a different relationship than many people had. But the reality is, my grandmother was no saint either. She was a nurse, and she understood health. She understood how to take care of a patient, but she didn't understand to take care of herself. Even this past year, when there was times that her dementia had really kicked in, we would laugh, because when she was being unreasonable about things, um, we told the nurses to ask her what the diagnosis on her chart was. And the nurses would go into her diagnosis, and instantly my grandmother would flip out of whatever she was going through and say, "Oh, you need to treat the patient like this, and this." She always knew it, but she was the worst patient. Doctors and nurses tend to be the worst patients. But when I moved in with my grandparents to help out as a team, it was not, just me and my husband, my mom, is, by the way, the most amazing and strong woman in the planet. If you haven't met her yet, she really can literally take the world on. Um, but I saw my genetic map in front of me. I saw that though my grandmother was so loving and so wonderful, I saw what was happening. And so by moving in with my grandparents, I saw my genetic future in front of me. And I didn't really want to, I didn't want to have that future in front of me. Sorry, my husband's coming in right now. Hold on one second. I didn't really want that that future ahead of me, because I didn't want to be wheelchair bound. I didn't want to be having to deal with insulin. I didn't want to have to deal with just the overweight and the all of the medical issues that came with what was happening in her life. And so she really spurred me on to say, I need to take control of this now. At the time I was 31. We've major infertility within our life, and it was time to take control. And so one of the things that I've been doing is I have been documenting my journey, because I want people to understand that there is a real battle out there. And by documenting our journey, by sharing it, we can encourage each other to make healthy life choices. I am no expert, right? I am not a nutritionist. I am a certified fitness instructor. That just means that I'm learning more and more, and I get excited to spur people on. But when I had this opportunity to learn about what this whole Team Beachbody thing was, it brought me to a new level. It is not just some, salesy company that that I'm all about the sales, and I'm all about trying to make the money out of it. Because let me tell you, if that was the case, then it would be a heck of a lot easier to sell candles or leggings or something else where people can just come up to me and there's no shame in it. People are always afraid to come up and chat with me about the thing that I'm passionate about, simply because that means that they have to admit that they need help. They don't have to admit that they need help when they're selling oils, or no, I guess oils, could that would be in the same caliber. But if they're selling Pampered Chef, I love Pampered Chef, don't get me wrong, and I support all my little Pampered Chef people. But when there's new products, it's great. But to share a fitness program that actually worked on me, and to share something that has changed my family, that's a whole different caliber, because it's emotional. It's emotional that we need help. And so this is why I do what I do. I want to share with you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. So today, today I had to deal with the fact that my grandmother passed away. I was a mess this morning. I did not think that I was going to be as emotional as I was. But the more that I thought about her, the more that, I really just connect to the fact that she is my, she's my DNA, she's my genetics. She really truly loved us as her grandchildren, and she really was such a servant's heart. But the reality is, she passed away probably well earlier than she needed to be, in a state that wasn't amazing because of health decisions that she made 15, 20 years ago. And I found myself at a crossroad earlier today, because as I didn't want to work out, I was super sad. I wanted to eat all the cookies, literally all of them. I was super tempted to go over. There's across the hotel was a Popeyes, and I really like Popeyes because they're yummy chicken. And I had to stop myself and say, no, that would be so dishonoring to my grandmother to just allow my sorrow to be overtaken by eating all the things, right? So instead of eating all the things, I knew my husband was coming. I needed to spend time with him, and he's here, so I'm going to hang up soon. And I needed to take some time, pray, reflect, spend time with God, and then I needed to go out and continue doing what I was doing. I needed to be smart in my decisions. I needed to go work out some. I took my Beachbody on demand and went downstairs to the ghetto gym downstairs. It really sucked. But I did it, right? Because I made a commitment that I want to be there for my grandkids. I want to be there for my great-grandkids. And if these are not the times, I have to make those decisions now to have a quality of life. And so to me, there's this hashtag going around right now. If you hit the hashtag I am Team Beachbody, that is what. that is why I am here. That is why I share my journey, and I am not going to apologize when I share my journey, because I'm hoping that it will inspire others to see that if someone like myself, who deals with infertility, PCOS, surgeries on her reproductive systems, is 250 pounds, if I can share my journey and I can struggle through it, and I work a full-time and a half job, and I dealt with dealing with senior care, and I've been dealing with transition, if I can do it, then so can you. So guys, hug your loved ones tonight. Give a call to your Grammys, give a call to your Grampies, and just remind them how much you love them. I hope you have an excellent night, and I will speak to you later. Good night.